Hello, sixth graders, it's Mrs. P again, and I'm back for round 2, video 2, in order to help us review and study for our Unit 1 test that's coming up on Friday, November the 6th, 2020. You'll be using these videos in your centers to help you review and for you to make sure I understand what we've been talking about during this unit. So the second video covers exponents. And remember, exponents tell us the power of. And the power of really means that you have to pay attention to. I'm going to do it, and you know it. Go ahead. It's all about that base. No trouble. Well, it's trouble if you don't remember it's about that base, sixth graders. So exponents tell us the power of the base. And what I'm talking about, if we look at an exponent, let's say something to the power of 3. This states to us that we are going to take 5 to the power of 3. This lovely thing right here is the base. It's the number we're going to use to the power of 3, which is our exponent. It just tells us, ladies and gentlemen, how many times we're going to take that base and multiply it by itself. That's where the power of comes from. 5 has the power of 3. Doing it 3 times. Multiplying itself 3 times. So this really states that this is 5 times 5 times 5. And you might see exponents like this. You could have them written out with the power. Or someone might ask you, hey, can you simplify that? And all they really mean is, tell me exactly what this means. That's what it is called when you want to simplify an exponent. They just want you to write it out and tell them. They want you to write it out and tell them what it means, sixth graders. That just moved right on me, didn't it? So they want you to write it out. If they say simplify it, they want you to write it out as though it means 5 times 5 times 5. And that's what it is called. I think my board may be, it is the day after Halloween, so I'm not really for certain. So this is what it means when you want to simplify it. It's 5 times 5 times 5. When they want you to solve it, sixth graders, like always, you'll see an equal sign beside it. That means solve the problem. And so if you see 5 to the third with an equal sign, they want you to put a solution out here. But you have to remember the solution means that it's all about the base, Take the base, how many times the exponent tells you to. And that will then let you know that 5 has the power of, and in this case, I know 5 times 5 is 25. And 25 times 5, ladies and gentlemen, is 125. So 5 to the power of 3, or 5 to the third, or 5 to the cubed is really known as 125. And it just allows you to make problems smaller for yourself or shorter for yourself so you don't have to write out so much. So you want to remember, exponents mean base. Exponent tells you how many times you take that base by itself. If someone says simplify it, boom, they just want you to write it out. You might also get one, sixth graders, where they tell you to write it back into exponential form. Exponential form, meaning write it back so that it looks like an exponent. So if I have this problem, 7 times 7 times 7 times 7, that's in simplest form. If I want to write it in exponential form, they may have you say, oh, that really means 7 to the fourth, 7 to the power of 4. And so, sixth graders, you might have to do that either way. There's also other ones that sometimes are tricky for kids. What if I said 3 times 3 times 2 times 2? Well, you're not going to say that that's just 3 to the fourth or 2 to the fourth. You just count to see how many you have. 1, 2. So I've got the base of 3, exponent of 2, because it's twice its power, times 2 to the power of 2, or squared, because there's 2 2's. And you just want to make sure you watch whatever operation they have in between there, because that'll tell you what operation to bring down between those lovely factors in your problem, or digits, or add-ins, or whatever you're using. You can do it any way. You can have 6 plus 2 times 2, and you would have to write 6 plus 2 squared. You could have 8 times 8 minus 3, which is really 8 squared minus 3. Just really watch the number of times you see a base and watch the beautiful operation signs between there. So in this lovely video, we have discussed the exponent and what it means. It means take some base to the power of. It's all about that base. No trouble if you remember it's about the base. The exponent just tells you what power do you lift that base up to. And in our examples, we had 5 to the power of 3, or we call 3 cubed now. 5 to the power of 3, and 5 to the power of 3 is 5 times 5 times 5, which is 125. This being our base, this being our exponent. And this right here really is simplifying our exponent. If I want to actually write an exponent from its simplified format into its exponential format, I just count how many times I see the base, and then my exponent becomes that number. The last thing I want to talk about in this video is when you're doing exponents, 6th graders, watch where you apply it. It really makes a difference, 6th graders, where an exponent is, especially with parentheses. So if I have a problem, 2 plus 3 squared, you can see, 6th graders, that squared goes with your 3. So it would be 2 plus 3 times 3, which is 9. When you have exponents, 2 plus 3 squared, you need to remember, and I think I said exponents, I meant when you have parentheses, you really need to remember and watch where the exponent is as well. If it is right here, 6th graders again, it will apply to the 3. But if that exponent is here, 6th graders, it really means that it applies to everything in the parentheses. So you really have to be careful where the exponent is and what it applies to. Because in this problem, within these parentheses, it's the same that the answer would be up here. 2 plus 3 times 3, which is 9. So this answer would be 11. But down here, if the exponent is on the outside, it would not be the same answer. You would have to do what's in the parentheses first, which is 2 plus 3, which is 5. And then you would do 5 squared, which is 25. So as you can see, those are totally different answers. So always remember the exponent applies to whatever it is beside, whatever it is near. In this case, it is by the 3. It has nothing to do with the 2. Here, it's by the 3. It has nothing to do with the 2. Here, it is by the parentheses. So it's going to apply to anything that's inside the parentheses. It's also the same way if I have a problem and it looks like this. And I really wouldn't normally write this like this because you should always put the variable after the number. But if I had C times 9 cubed, that lovely cube is going to apply to the base 9 first. It's not going to apply to you multiplying C times 9. And why? Because we know in the order of operations, ladies and gentlemen, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction as groups. So I would first apply the exponent to the 9 and then do the multiplication. And that is the tricky part about exponents and the part that you need to remember. Well, that's it. Video 2. Check. It's done. Mic drop. All about exponents we have revisited and I went through it. It's all about that base. Watch how you write them, that this is the base, this is the exponent, simplified form, back to exponential form, and then watching your parentheses when you solve it. Until the next video, sixth graders, Miss P, she's out of here. Enjoy, review, and study, and take it all in. I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day. I mean to say it like this. Have a great day.